puja smarpayami Shri Devi Deva Namaha. Om Pavitra Pavitra Sarvashtatanga Topiva Yasmarat Pundarikaksham Sabayavantara Suchi. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhurbhuva Suvah Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Suklam Bharadam Vishnum Sashivanam Chaturbhujam Prasadavaranam Dhyaye Sarva Vignopashantaye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Brahmanadam Paramasukadam Kevalam Janamurtim Danvatitam Ganga Sardasham Tatvamasaradiksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Archalam Sarvari Sakshibhutam Bhavitam Trigunartitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Yam. Guru consciousness is bliss absolute, the bestower of ultimate happiness. It is knowledge itself beyond duality, pervasive as the sky. It is the final goal of the statement, Thou art that. It is unity itself, eternal, embellished, and unwavering. It is the witness of all thoughts, beyond all states, and untouched by the three gunas. Om Gam Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gam Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gam Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gam Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Sanataya Namaha Bhahanam Samarpayami. Om Shri Sanataya Namaha Asanam Samarpayami. Om Shri Sanataya Namaha Pajam Samarpayami. Om Shri Sanataya Namaha Argyam Samarpayami. Om Shri Sanataya Namaha Achanam Samarpayami. Om Shri Sanataya Namaha Sananam Samarpayami. Om Shri Sanataya Namaha Chandanam Samarpayami. Om Shri Sanataya Namaha Gandham Samarpayami. Om Shri Sanataya Namaha Ashtakam Samarpayami. Om Shri Sanataya Namaha Bhushtanam Samarpayami. Shri Sanatai Namaha. Pushpam Samarpayami. Pushpam Samarpayami. Pushpam Samarpayami. Shri Sanatana Namaha. Dupam Samarpayami. Shri Sanatana Namaha. Deepam Samarpayami. Shri Sanatana Namaha. Nivedyam Samarpayami. Shri Sanatana Namaha. Jal Samarpayami. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Gurudev Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Kandalan Mandalakaram Viptayena Chakaram Tatpridam Darshtatam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. The Guru creates a new life for devotees, sustains it, and destroys all limitations. He is truly one with the Supreme Reality. To that great Guru, salutations. Salutations to the great Guru who reveals that state of supreme consciousness, who permeates all of creation, both animate and inanimate. Shri Sanatai Namaha. Namaskaram Samarpayami. Arti Samarpayami. Shri Shirdi Sababa Namaha. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Swami Shirdi Sai Hare Bhakta Janam Samrakshaka Bhakta Janam Samrakshaka Shri Maheshwara Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Sri Shivararam Shrikara Sarva Pranapataye Swami Sarva Pranapataye Ashrita Kapalatika Ashrita Kapalatika Apadbandava Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Mata Pita Gurudevo Mariam Jayanihive Swami Mariam Jayanihive Narara Brahma Jagannatha Narara Brahma Jagannatha Nayana Sharaya Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Mahadeva, Shirdi Sai Mahadeva, Mahangala Arti Anduka, Mahangala Arti Anduka, Mangala Giri Hari, Om Jai Jagadish Hare. Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Satya Nayaranya 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 Om Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Satya Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Satya Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Jai Sadgurudeva. Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Satya Nayaranya 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 Om Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Satya Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Satya Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Jai Sadgurudeva. Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Satya Nayaranya 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 Om Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Satya Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Satya Nayaranya Nayaranya Om Jai Sadgurudeva. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Akilanda Koti Brahma Dinayanaka Rajadi Rajogi Raja Parabrahma Sachitananda Samatsat Guru Shri Bhagavan Shirdi Sainath Maharaja Ki
Jai.
Akilanda Koti Brahma Dinayanaka Rajadi Rajogi Raja Parabrahma Sachitananda Samatsat Guru Shri Ananda Mahima Maharaja Ki
Jai.
Akilanda Koti Brahma Dinayanaka Rajadi Rajogi Raja Parabrahma Sachitananda Samatsat Guru Shri Swami Sai Kalashwar Maharaja Ki
Jai.
Paramam Pavicham Bhava Vibhutim Paramam Vishicham Nila Vibhutim Paramartha Ishtara Moksha Pradatam Bhava Vibhutim Idamam Smarami Sarvabha Vibhutim Satatam Smarami Shirdi Sai Vibhutim Manasam Smarami Om 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 Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurmam Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Sahana Bhavantu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Mavidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Alright, everyone, buckle up. It's a long one. It's pulling some story today. Must be some relevance in it, I'm sure. Blessed is Sri Sai's visage. One glimpse at his visage removes misery as many lives. It is the perennial source of bliss. One merciful glance immediately breaks all the bondages of past actions. His devotees attain the favor of self-bliss within a moment. With a merciful glance from him, the perplexities of past omissions and commissions are dissipated. His grace is like the light of the sun, which is the glow of the fireflies fade. The Bhagavati river washes the sins of the world, whereby she herself becomes impure. She longs for the dusts of the feet of the saints to destroy her own accumulated impurity. When will the feet of the saints touch me? When will they come to bathe in me? Without them, my sins will not be cleansed. She definitely knows that. Samarth Sai is the crest jewel of such saints. Knowing that these are his words, devoted and virtuous people hear this purifying story with great reverence. The greatness of this story is marvelous. The bonds of karma of the listeners, whether they are wise or ignorant, will be broken. This is a very holy story. The faculty of this vision of all the eyes and the faculty of hearing of all the ears is Sai. He himself has entered my heart and narrated this story. Sai is himself very learned. Hearing the marvel of this story, the listeners will forget their ego and will be filled with the 8 sattvic feelings. Paying attention to the intent of this story from Sai, keeping an eye on the moral, listeners will achieve the object of their endeavors. But listeners, hear my plea. Though I am the narrator of this story, I will be as vacious as you are, not having understood the essence if I do not concentrate. When I remember his love for his devotees, my mind forgets its nature and I am at peace. Notwithstanding the problems of the worldly life, what greater benefit could there be? Listen to the story with attention. The story is about the intense greed for money, leads to a downfall. Listens to it with concentration. It is only Sai, with his utmost grace, who suggests the stories one after another so that there is no break for the listeners and increases happiness and contentment. Sri Sai himself is the story, the narrator and the narration. Why and how am I here? This is only an assumed name. When I am sitting on the shores of the ocean of Sai stories, how can there be any shortage of them? Sitting under the wish-fulfilling tree, no sooner the wishes arise than they are fulfilled. Who worries about a lamp in the abode of the sun? One who drinks nectar regularly, would he drink poison? When there is someone like Sai as our protector, can there be a shortage of nectar of stories? Savor them in your heart's content with pleasure. The doctrine of karmas is incomprehensible. No one is able to understand it thoroughly. Even the very wise ones are baffled, but the devoted, ignorant ones are saved. Similarly, the laws of God are difficult to be understood. Who will transgress them? All we can do is follow the code of conduct of the world and do one's duty always. Otherwise, it will be completely against the scriptures, and after death, one is reborn in the form which is accordance with the actions in their life. In accordance with the deeds done, and in confirmation with the sacred law, some, along with the seed and semen, enter the origin of creation, while some enter static entities. Births barely take place in accordance with one's own thoughts. The real meaning of Shruti, sacred law, is not known to anyone. If there is to be a rebirth, let that soul take it as it likes. In order to be born again in a body, foolish and ignorant people should bear in mind that it depends on one's own merit, and they will acquire bodies accordingly. Consider him to be wise, he who before death, in order to achieve self-realization, fully utilizes this human birth. He alone is free from worldly existence. Others get entangled in the movement of the whirling, never becoming free from a body or the misfortunes and miseries of birth. Now, the miracle of the story is that the evil feeling that I am the body is erased, and the 8 Sophic emotions are aroused. He who is a great miser, in spite of immense wealth, his life can only invite scorn. Till death, he will experience a wasted life. Added to it, if there is any feeling of enmity, it will never be good. Restrain and control yourself from that. Otherwise, it will completely destroy a person's life. Mutual enmity causes one to fall from a higher state of life to a lower. Natural evolution of life is destroyed by debt, animosity, and murder. I therefore will narrate, for the sake of the listeners, a story elucidating the principle told by Sai himself in his nectar-like speech. Listen to it attentively. I am going to repeat the story exactly as Mother Sai narrated it and as I heard it and remembered it. Sai himself is the biographer, who gets the story written down in detail. I am only an instrument, of whom Sai is the controller. One day, in the morning around 8 o'clock, having had breakfast as usual, I set out for a walk. Feeling tired from the walk, I reached a river bank. I washed my feet and bathed, which refreshed me. And how big was the river? It was the size of the river of Ratan. There was overflowing water, and bushes grew abundantly on its banks. There was a footpath and also a road for vehicles. On the banks there was a thicket cluster of trees, which provided excellent shade. There was a cool and soothing breeze, which delighted me. Gazing at the cluster of trees, I sat in the ease of the shade. As I was about to fill the chillum, and for the purpose to moisten the cloth, I heard the croaking of what seemed to be a frog. It was no wonder, as there are frogs always near the water, so I moistened the cloth and returned and took the flint in my hand. When a spark arose from the striking the flint and the chillum was lighted and ready, a wayfarer came and sat near me after bowing down to me. Respectfully taking the chillum in his hands from me, he said, "You seem to have traveled a long distance. The masjid is far from here. It will become hot by the time you go there. My house is across the river. Let us go there after smoking the chillum. You can have something to eat and rest a while. Then when the sun goes down a little, you can return comfortably, and I will also come with you." After speaking this, the wayfarer lit the chillum and gave it to me to puff with reverence. At that time, the frog began to croak loudly and piously, whereupon the wayfarer asked who was crying out. Then I said, "A frog has gotten into a great difficulty at the river bank because of its past actions. Listen, I will narrate its story. We have to reap what we sow in our past lives. One should endure one's destiny calmly. There is no use crying about it. After hearing this, the wayfarer handed over the chillum in my hands and set out from there, saying, I will go and see and return. Is it really a frog or some other creature? Let me see also for myself what is the problem. Seeing that this is what he wished, I said, Go and see and return. A frog has been caught in the mouth of a big snake, and that's why it is crying. Both are very wicked, and the deeds of both of them had been dreadful. The sins of their past lives have been terrible, and they have been born in another form of existence to suffer the fruit of their action. After I gave this opinion, the wayfarer went to the spot and returned after seeing what was actually happening. He confirmed the true situation. The snake is deadly with a large jaw. The frog too is frightful, but it is going to be eaten by the snake. He has an existence for a short while. He has become an offering in the snake's mouth. What a strange fate. Soon he will no longer exist. Then I said to him, How can he kill him? After all, I am its father, here. Why should I be here then? Have I left my own abode and come here to permit that frog to be eaten? Watch how I get it released. After ending this struggle, we will go to our own homes. Go and fill that chillum once more, then let's see what the snake does. The chillum was made ready immediately. The wayfarer lit it himself, and taking a deep, drawn puff, presented it to me, and I took it in with my hands to smoke. I took a couple of deep puffs, and then, taking the wayfarer with me, went to that lush green grass and reached that specific spot. Seeing that snake again, the wayfarer was frightened. How huge it is, he said, and clutched me with terror. He said, Do not go any further. The snake will come towards us. This place is too narrow if we decide to run. No, do not go there. Seeing this scene, the wayfarer was afraid for his life. Then hear this advice in respect of the enemy of both. O Virabhadrapa, has not your enemy Basapa yet repented, though he has been born as a frog? You too, though born as a snake, still maintain bitter and mortal enmity. At least now be ashamed, and giving up your enmity, remain at peace. No sooner than the words were uttered, the snake left the frog and fled by quickly entering into the deep waters. He disappeared from there. Escaping from the jaws of death, the frog, with a rebounding jump, went and hid into the thicket. The wayfarer was filled with surprise. He said, I do not understand anything. No sooner than you spoke, how did the snake release the frog, and how the snake too hid himself? Out of these, who is Virabhadrapa and who is Basapa? The wayfarer asked for the reason for enmity and said, Please tell me about it. Very well. Let us go sit in the shade under the tree and smoke the chillum again, he said. Then I will satisfy your curiosity and afterwards go back to my place. We both came near the trees where the shade was dense. A cool, gentle breeze was blowing. We again lit the chillum. The wayfarer smoked from it first, then handed it over to me. While smoking it, I told this beautiful story to the wayfarer. There existed a holy place, some 2 or 3 miles away from where I lived, which was ancient and full of glory. There was an old dilapidated temple of Shiva there, which everyone thought about renovating. For that purpose, a large contribution was raised. A good amount was collected. Arrangements were made for the worship of others' rites, and detailed plans were made for it. A rich local man was appointed as the manager there. The monies were handed over to him, and he was put in full charge. He went to keep a separate and independent account, and entered into the cash contributions that were collected. He was to do this work without fail and honestly. But he was a great miser by nature. He did not work in such a way that he had not to bear loss. Therefore the work could not be completed. The whole amount was spent, but the work was only half done. He did not spend any of his own money, not even a farthing. Though he was a big money lender, he was miserlessness incarnated. He spoke sweet words falsely, but did not put them into action. The people who have contributed to the fraud funds gathered at his home and said, "What is the use of your position as a wealthy man? If you do not solidify and financially support the renovation of this Shiva temple, how will the work be completed? Think of this. We will appeal once again to the people and collect more contributions. We will send the monies to you. See that this work is completed." Further monies were collected, and handsome amounts were received, but they were not put to any use at all. The rich man sat quietly, mortgaged it to the rich merchant sat quietly. So be it. After some time, the Lord decided to take the matter in his own hands. The rich man's wife had a dream vision at that time. "At least you should wake up and act. Go and build a dome for the temple. Nilakantaya will give you 100 times the amount you spend." The next day she described in detail the dream vision to her husband for him, who felt that it was the end of life to spend even a farthing. This was most upsetting. For him, who thought only of amassing money day and night, and had no other purpose in life, the meaning of this dream vision, which involved unnecessary spending of money, of that how could he be convinced? He told his wife, "I do not believe in this vision. I have absolutely no faith in it," and he started ridiculing her. On one previous One perceives the world as he perceives his own inclinations. Being a rascal himself, he saw only others in the same plight. If God intended that money should be spent, was I far away from you? Why did he appear in your dream? Why did he alone have this vision? Why didn't God give it to me? Therefore, I have no faith in it. I have not understood its meaning. It is neither a bad dream, or it is an effort on God's part to create a rift between husband and wife. These are the only two alternatives that I see. Am I not making some sufficient contributions in the renovation work? Every month, the bag that is filled gets empty. People bring all the amounts. This is what appears to be true outwardly, but the accounting procedure for receipts and expenses is a commercial one. It is losing proposition for me. People are not aware of this. How should I explain it to you? Therefore, in this situation, this vision of yours cannot be accepted. If it is believed to be true, then we will be deceived. A vision that is seen when in the sleep state is broken, can it be believed at all? The rich man propounded this principle. Hearing this, the wife remained quiet and was unable to reply to her husband. Even though the people collected the money, they rarely gave it happily. God does not like contributions given without love, due to pressure, under persuasion, or coercion. A little gift given with love is very precious. The work progressed depending on the money collected. When there was a shortage of money, the work also stopped. In this way, the work got prolonged. The rich man, being a miser, did not spend a single farthing from his own pocket. Listen to a further vision that the wife had. Don't press your husband to give money for the temple. Your devotion is sufficient to God. You give whatever you wish. Even one paisa given with feeling and devotion of your own money is worth a lakh over it to God after taking your husband's permission. Do not unnecessarily worry. Offer whatever you like. Offer whatever little that belongs to you. Here, only devotion is important. Knowing that you have it, God persists in asking you for something. Therefore, whatever little wealth you have, give it and be at peace. To give without devotion is improper. God does not like it at all. Anything that one gives without faith is worthless like dust, and in the end will be futile. This will be experienced in no time. Be it so. After having the vision, she decided to sell the jewelry given to her by her father and fulfill God's desire. Then she conveyed her decision to her husband, who listened to it and felt dejected. Where there is greed, what can there be expected? There is no thought about God, righteous, or morality. He thought, what foolishness is this? She has truly lost her mind. After estimating the value of her jewelry and fixing the price to be 1,000 rupees, the land should be transferred to her name. He bought the ornaments himself in lieu of the money. He gave it to his wife, a piece of land which was sandy and saline, which was mortgaged to him. It was a fallow land which yielded no crops even during the rains. He told his wife, "Offer this to Shiva. When you give in charity this piece of land worth 1,000 rupees to God, he who gave you the vision will be propitiated, and you will be freed from your debt." So be it. Believing her husband, the wife of the miser offered the land with love and devotion to satisfy Shankar's wishes. In fact, Dubakai had the ownership rights thereon, and she had mortgaged it to the rich merchant from whom she had taken the loan of 200 rupees. Dubakai was a desolate woman who owned the land. When she had financial difficulties, she had mortgaged this land. But the rich man was very greedy. Not only did he cheat Shankar by misappropriating his wife's personal wealth, he pleased it with his deceit and fraud. The intense desire for all sense object is most evil, which destroys the life of one who is so attached. One should not get entangled in these worldly pleasures if one hopes to live. The deer meets death because of its desires for hearing. The cobra is killed for the beautiful bread on its head. And the moth burns because of the light of love. Such is the outcome of having such desires. To enjoy the worldly pleasures, one needs wealth. Therefore, intense efforts have been made to acquire it, and the satisfaction of these desires only makes them multiply. It is impossible to destroy them. Undoubtedly, it was a barren land, and no effort could produce any crop on it. Such a land was offered to God. What merit could there be in such an offering? It is an absolute and or real offering to God only when there is no motivation behind it. If not, it is sin whose fruits are ultimately painful. On the other hand, the poor Brahmin who looked after the temple was very contented that the land had been offered to God. Be it so. After some time, an adverse event took place. It rained heavily during the third of the lunar mansions, and there was a frightful storm. Suddenly, lightning struck the building of the miser, was razed to the ground, leaving only the land without a clement. Everything else was burnt to ashes. The rich man was also attacked and died with his wife. Dubakai also died. Such was the end of these three. Later, this rich man was born in Mauratra, in an impoverished Brahmin family, and his devoted wife was born in a family of a pujari. She was named Gauri. There is a different story for Dubakai. She was born in a Guavar caste that worshipped Shankar, but she lost her womanhood and took birth as a man. The naming ceremony of the boy was done, and he was named Chanabasappa. Thus, the status of all three changed, and their previous karmas bore fruit. The rich man in the new birth was named Virabhadra. This is the essence of the Parabhadra karma, which has to be bored to its end. I greatly liked the priest of the Shiva temple. He regularly came to my home and smoked the chilim with me. Then when we would chat away the whole night happily, Gauri had grown up and become a marriageable age. He used to bring her along also. She too was devoted to me. One day the priest asked me, "I have searched all the places but have not been able to fix her marriage anywhere. Baba, I have got exhausted looking for a good home for her. All my efforts have failed. I have got tired." "Why are you unnecessarily worrying?" I said. "The bridegroom is on his way. Your daughter is very fortunate. She will become very rich. The boy will come looking for her on his own. In a short time, he will come to your home and fulfill your wish. He will get married to Gauri as per your wish." On the other hand, Virabhadra's family had a poor household. He encouraged his parents to have practice, and he left the home. He wandered from village to village, begging for alms and sometimes working as a laborer. He would sometimes eat only whatever he got and remained content with that. While roaming thus, by good fortune, he came to the Pujari's house. It was an incredible Leela of Allah Maya. He was liked by all. Gradually, the Punjari grew fond of him and thought of giving Gauri in marriage to him. The horoscopes matched, and the priest was pleased. The priest, bringing Virabhadra with him, came one day to me. Seeing both of them together at that time, I suddenly had an idea. No sooner had the idea occurred than I expressed it. If the present time is auspicious for a marriage, then give Gauri to him and become free. After getting his wife's consent, Virabhadra was selected as the bridegroom. Choosing an auspicious time, the marriage was performed in a proper manner. After the ceremony were over, the families came to me for darshan, and also for my blessing for a happily married life. I gave them my blessing with pleasure. Virabhadra now had an easy life and looked content as he was blessed with happiness and was very prosperous. He too became devoted to me. His prosperity increased with time, but have you ever come across a person truly satisfied and not hankering after money? Money is a big snare. Even the very affluent ones are troubled by it. Virabhadra was also disturbed at times. This is the game of money plays. Virabhadra said, Baba, the shackle of marriage is a great obstacle. Lack of money is causing me suffering. Say something which would remedy the situation and which would enable me to cope with my affairs. I prostrate at your feet. It's no good of my deceiving you. I beg you to help me and remove my difficulties. After all, it was you who caused this marriage to take place. I gave him a lot of good advice and blessed him lovingly. Allah Malek is fully aware. He alone can remove this difficulty. Knowing Virabhadra's desire and that there would be fulfilled, therefore I assured him and told him not to be miserable in any way. The time for good fortune is very near. Do not unnecessarily get restless. You will have all the money easily, and you will have it in plenty. Riches seem to scorn me. My wife's requests for small things do not stop. Enough of this humiliation now. No more of the status of being a married man. Be it so. Later on, something marvelous happened. Behold influence of Gauri's planetary stars. The price of the barren land shot up. God's ways cannot be understood. A purchaser came forward to buy the land for 1 lakh of rupees. He paid half the amount in cash and agreed to pay the other half in installments. It was agreed that he would pay 2,000 rupees with interest every year. Gauri would thus be fully compensated in 25 years. Everyone agreed with this deal. Chanabasapa, the Gurudev, however, made a point to say, the Gurudev has the first claim on whatever money is offered to Shankar. I should get half the interest of my share as the Gurudev, and I will not accept less than that. Virabhadra did not give anything. Chanabasapa did not remain quiet. This led to a lot of arguments. Both of them came to me. Shankar alone is the lord of the land, and it cannot be utilized by anyone else. Do not be entangled by greed, I told both of them. This is the price of the land which has been offered to Shankar. Anyone else besides Gauri who makes a claim on it will get nothing. Anyone who touches that money without the permission of God will certainly invite his wrath. All this belongs entirely to God. The ownership is vested in the Punjari. Gauri is the sole auspicious. No one else has any right to it. It is Gauri's own money. Therefore, I told them both on the behalf of Gauri, act as per her wishes. That will ensure your welfare. If you act against her wishes, God is not going to be pleased. Virabhadrapa had no authority to independently deal with this. When I clearly expressed my views in the matter, Virabhadra flew into rage with me and showered a volley of abuses. He said, Baba, by establishing my wife's ownership, you want to misappropriate the whole property for your benefit. Hearing these words, I was stunned. The deeds of Allah Maya are incredible. Why unnecessarily grieve? After saying this accusation to me, Virabhadra was very angry and shouted at his wife at home. Then when she came in the afternoon for darshan, she began to plead with me. Baba, do not be displeased with me on hearing another's words. I entreat you to continue to love me as a daughter. Hearing these words of hers, I gave her a complete assurance. I would confer so much happiness on you that even the 7 oceans could not contain it. Do not grieve. That same night, when Gauri Bai was sleeping, she had a vision. Shiva appeared in her dream. Listen to what he said. See, all this money is yours. Do not give anything to anybody. I am giving you instructions how to manage it. Act accordingly so that it is always carried on. Spend the money towards the temple, as Chanabasapa advises. I trust him. Let this be the practice. If a need arises to use the money for any other purpose, do not mismanage the money. Therefore, without consulting Baba in the masjid, do not make any arrangements. Gauribai told me the whole vision in detail. I also advised her correctly to abide by the instructions in the vision. Keep the capital yourself, which belongs to you. Give half the interest to Chanabasap. Do that regularly. Virabhadra has no claim on it. While we were talking this, both of them arrived quarreling. I tried very hard to counsel them to keep them calm. I told them in detail of the vision of Gauribai had of Shankar. After listening to it, Virabhadra became insane with fury. Virabhadra showered lots of abuses on the opposite party. Without rhyme or reason, to his heart's content, he used abusive language which frightened and confused the other person. He also became deliriously infuriated. He muttered curses and abuses. I will kill you whenever I find you, he said. Virabhadra, in the same intense fury, looking upon Chanabasapa, said, I will cut you into pieces and eat them all up. Chanabasapa was full of fears. He held fast to my feet and said, free me from this calamity. Then I gave him my protection. Then I told him, humble Chanabasapa, to have courage. I will not let you die at Virabhadra's hands. Be it so. Later on, Virabhadra had a seizure and died. Then he was reborn as a snake. Thus there was a change in the bodily form. Chanabasapa suffered from fears and apprehensions and died of them as well, and he was reborn as a frog. That is the story. On account of enmity in the previous births, Virabhadra was born as a snake and pursued Chanabasapa as a frog. In the end, Virabhadra had caught him. Poor Chanabasapa, in the form of a frog, fell into the mouth of Virabhadra, the snake. Hearing this piteous cries, I was moved. Remembering the assurance I gave him in the previous life, I freed Chanabasapa from the mouth of the snake and fulfilled my promise. Allah comes running for his devotees at the time of their troubles. He has sent me here to protect his devotees. This is what you have experienced. Virabhadra was driven away. Chanabasapa was rescued from his troubles. All this is God's Leela. Be it so. Fill up the chillum now. After smoking, I will leave for my abode. You too should go home, remembering me. After saying this, I puffed the chillum. After enjoying the company, I returned walking home. I was supremely happy. Pranam to Shri Sai Maharaj Ki. We still got a chant.
Can we move that flower? Or is it okay? It's okay.
It's not on fire. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru Dev. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya 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 Guru Dev. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Gurudev. Om Sai Shri Sai Jai Jai Sai. The new moon is on Tuesday morning. It's now Thursday morning. She should be coming out of her darkness into a little slivering crescent today for us as we step forth with our newly implanted intentions, as the seeds have long past sprouted and are growing and we're tending to the form of the garden. May we remember the interesting story that came today and understand the bigger meaning of what it means about karma, birth, and the situation of the beings around us. May we surrender and trust in the great beings in front of us that have paved the way for us to perceive the light that is in store for us. May Baba's blessings be with you today. Om Sai Shri Sai Jai Jai Sai Om Tat Saram Jai Ma.